Hello everybody. Hello community Des Alpes community, and welcome to that super Zoom on Wednesday. So tonight we're going to have three guests are going to talk with you, and if I just asking if Jenny, if you're there, please raise your hand. All right, that's good. That's good. So I can put you co-host. So let me introduce you the big one for tonight. The your big host and Mr. Denis Drapeau. So welcome, Denis, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mario. Thank you so much. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to wherever you are in the world. We know we're talking to the world tonight. So great. It's an honor to be here. It's a pleasure to be here. And to be the big one, Mario, come on. I'm an ordinary guy, and I'm giving everything I can to this community guy. We're all working together here. And, we do have some good news. And actually, we have also someone tonight, a very special guest that we have. We have two special guests, actually. But the first one I'm going to present to you is our friend programmer from Web Signatures, Mr. is Jenny. Jenny has been with us for the last four. I've known Jenny for a few years, actually. But now I guess we're partnering a lot together now and working really, really hard in the background. So, Jenny, thank you to be here tonight. I really appreciate that. It's highly, highly appreciated. And I will give you the floor, my friend. Thank you.
Okay, Denis. Hi, everyone. So I am Jenny. We've been working with Denis and the whole team at Des Alpes for a few weeks now, about 4 weeks. And before I go in too much detail about me, I do want to congratulate everybody here from the administrators to everybody who's on the Zoom. In the last 4 weeks, I've had the opportunity to work closely with the administrators and also to look at everything that you as a company, everyone here has established and accomplished since the beginning. And it is remarkable. So despite the challenges from a programming perspective, and despite some of the challenges that you guys are all facing, and now including me to help, I definitely need to congratulate everyone here for doing everything that you have. It is remarkable. So congratulations. Thank you, Denis and Mario and everyone else for inviting me here tonight on the Zoom. Thanks for an introduction. And that is true, Denis. We do know each other for a few years, and I'm honored and happy to be working with you again. And I do know a few of the other administrators and equally happy to be working with them. A little bit about me. I do have a little over 20 years experience in the web industry field, from software to websites to back-end applications to hosting, security, and marketing. And I've really been involved, and I think really stand out when we're facing some challenges from a technical perspective, and help rebuild and reestablish, sorry, what's needed for a company like Des Alpes to be able to have a platform that everyone can use, and a great tool for everybody to keep on spreading the company and the word, and having the security and the functionalities that you need. So over the last 4 weeks, we definitely been involved in everything for the site and the hosting. And I'll give you guys, without boring you too much, I'll give you guys a little bit of an update. We are now have full control of all the legacy code, including the database, and everything that was originally in production online. So we have everything in our control. We're now setting up a brand new infrastructure from hosting and security and scalability, and we're rebuilding all the code and the database to be robust enough to be able to support going back live, and of course, growing. So with that being said, we're now about 90% complete of revising and fine-combing through everything and rebuilding what was necessary. Again, when I say 90%, it's for a mandate and original phase that we had highlighted, just to be able to get the company from an online perspective, to get that part back on its feet and back as a tool that everybody could log into and use. So it is an original mandate. And like I believe Denis said a few times, and Danielle and everyone else, it's one step at a time, but one strong step at a time, and everything will be built accordingly. So I don't have anything negative to report. We're on schedule. We had originally looked at certain plan. We're on it. No big hurdles, no big disappointments. Just takes the time that it needs, and we're getting through it. So myself and my company, we're spread throughout all of North America, with 2 offices, one in Canada, one in the US. We're on it. I'd like to take the credit, but I can't take too much of the credit. It's mainly all the people at the office that are working hard to get this done. I think it's important to say that the user interface, so all the design will change, not because Des Alpes did not have a nice brand, but really because latest and greatest technology allows us to put in some better user interface for a better user experience, to be used equally on desktop, tablet, and mobile. So that'll be released in the first phase. Will be a new look and feel. We do have more phases coming after, but first phase to be released with that. I can add a couple more points. And one, Mario, if you allow me, I will suggest that you bring me back on a call as we get closer to putting this live, so that I can walk you through a couple of the steps on how to log in, how to change your password so that you could log in, and maybe a few more little pointers on how to use a little bit of the basic tools in the back office. But once again, I don't want to bore you with too much. I have nothing negative to report. I do want to thank you for giving me a chance to explain, Mario, on what we're doing. And if Mario or Denis want to ask me any questions, I will answer a few questions for you. I'm here for that.
Well, actually, Johnny, I do have a question. I know you guys are working really hard in the background. You're putting things together, the background, the back office, and everything else. Personally, I have not seen the back office, but and I imagine there's a reason why I haven't seen it yet. Can you just explain a bit about the process? What's the process if you guys are doing right now to take us to that point of the back office that we'll be seeing very soon?
So the first step that we did is we took over all the legacy database and the legacy code. We're ironing through the tables in the database to make sure that the data is accurate, is the hardest job. And we've accomplished that. We've now identified which tables are accurate and which ones, unfortunately, are just what we call fat. So there are tables that have been created through tests, through different programmers, that just bring in hesitation, inaccuracy when it comes to the data. So we've done that, we've established that, and now we run some tests against the code and make sure that the code is working properly, which it wasn't, and it's okay. That's why we're there. We're making some fixes to that, and we're testing it now to make sure that the compensation plan is well defined throughout the code, so that all the money or the disbursements are spread accurately based on what the compensation plan is. I mentioned the new design. It happens naturally when we're integrating all the aspects of the back office. We have a choice: use the old one or put in a new one. It's the same amount of work. It's not something you could carry over. So it's like painting. Do you paint an ugly color or do you paint a nice color? And it's the same amount of work, might as well do it to something that's better. Moving forward, we will do exercises, Denis, of user experience exercises to see A/B testing. So we'll see where is the most common use of the back office. We'll start to bring some functionalities that might be after 2 clicks. We might see that that's a very common use. So we'll bring that forward to a dashboard or bring it, highlight it on the first page of your back office. This could only happen with usage and by monitoring it, which I know you're aware of, Denis, but by monitoring it, it gives us the data that we need to do. Our mandate with you guys is not a one stop. Our mandate is really the big picture and to be continuing to support as you guys grow and as we go back live and as we expand. So it's in our best interest today to build this the right way because that's what we'll be supporting tomorrow.
Great. Thank you so much for that answer. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. You guys arrived like 4 weeks ago. We had targeted, remember we targeted like 4 to 6 weeks. So we determined pretty much a targeted date, which was around the 18th, I believe was the 18th of May. Do you believe we're pretty close to that? We're in good standing for that?
Yeah, as it stands today, that is the targeted date. I think we're in a good standing. I have no reason to not feel comfortable about that date. Again, it's the first mandate. We just want to be able to complete that first one on time. Today, there's no reason why we shouldn't. There are a few more pieces that we need to complete that could bring in some unknown delays. I can repeat and openly say this is not something we're building from scratch. We are taking legacy database with a lot of users in it. So sometimes we're confronted with surprises, which are moments where we need to investigate and lose a bit of time. So those are the things that could happen. But even at that, those will be controlled delays, Denis, and not uncontrolled delays. So we'll know, whoops, this is a bit of an issue. We're looking at X amount of time delay. So again, controlled delays. Everything is under control at the moment, and we feel very comfortable.
Well, I feel good about that, believe me, because I really know how hard you guys are working in the background with Danielle, checking out the comp plan and everything else, checking out how the payment systems are going to come in and everything else. So, how do they say in English? Cahoots or what's the word?
Yeah. Or chapeau, hats off.
Chapeau,
Yeah.
chapeau.
Yeah.
So
Hats
thank
off.
you for that.
It's really a teamwork, Denis, including yourself and Danielle and everyone. It's a big job. It's a big mandate, but the real energy comes from looking at how many users are in there and how many people are on this call and how many people are supporting and waiting. So that's where the real energy comes. The rest is work, but everybody wants to get up and do what they like. And when we see this kind of support, it really helps out a lot. It's like a hockey team playing at home. So,
It is. Well, we're in Montreal about that, right?
yeah, for sure.
So great, man. I'm really happy, and I really thank you. I highly thank you to be here tonight. It's really, really highly appreciated. And we know we're in good hands with you guys, professionals, and it's really, really cool. And we're going the right way. I know we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel compared to four weeks ago where you guys came and really came in good and really good hand. So I really appreciate that, and to the name of everybody here, and I want to thank the community, everybody that's here tonight, for your patience and your resilience with us, because I know what we're going to bring in the future. We have a good plan, a good project that we want to bring along. And once it starts really dipping and going along, it's going to be really, really fun. We're going to have lots of fun building this for the long term. It's not a 6 month plan here. It's it's a legacy business that we're putting in place. And thank you to be there to help us do that. Really.
All right, just a minute. Gianni and Denny, I think the best for the next Zoom, I think it's the next Wednesday. It's going to be great. It's give you time to put everything in place, and maybe in next Wednesday, we can see something in the back office and everything. So next week, we're going to invite you again to show us a little bit about the back office and everything. So I think the best date for the next Zoom is next Wednesday. So Denny, I'll let you. This is good for you.
Well, we're probably going to have one also on Saturday morning, Mario, because wherever we at Saturday, well, we're here to give the updates to the community. For us, it's very important. We're getting closer and closer to the date, so we want to make sure that people know where we're at. So most probably we will have an update on Saturday morning in English. I think it's 11 o'clock. So I'd like
Okay.
to keep that. I'd like to keep that because I really want to be there for the community and to give as much updates as the closest updates as we have. The most, the little bit we'll have, well, the little bit we'll give, and it's all positive. So I want to keep it that way.
Okay,
Is that
that's good.
all right?
That's good. We're going to tell everybody
Tell the whole
if
world.
we so
Tell the whole
on
world.
when on Friday I will put the time and everything. That's
Thank you.
good.
Thank you,
So
Mario. Thank you
I
so much.
let you introduce the other one.
Well, thank you, Jenny, to be there again. We're all together.
Thank you.
Next man that we've been, a very big leader in this community. I want to introduce Mr. Bob Riddle. Mr. Bob, please come along. Come and join me. Come here and let's work together here, my friend. Thank you to be there.
Hello, my friend.
Hello. It's been a
It is,
while.
it has been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute for
Uh,
sure.
It's been a minute, but it seems like maybe a long time. And when we look back from the beginning, before you got the opportunity to come on board, it is really not that long in the bigger scheme of things. Correct?
True, true, very true, Bob.
And
Yes.
and when we talk about such things, we always know that there's going to be bumps, there's going to be hills, there's going to be ebbs and flows. And coming from Gary Afron and I, just a short reflection about not it's going on 9 months ago now. We got the opportunity to see, and Denis, we called this, and Danielle would know, we called it the Donnie video.
That would be
Okay.
video.
Well,
Okay.
it was because Donnie Bask, our master distributor,
Mm-hmm.
he actually created a video for his people, but that was all that there was at the moment.
Mm.
We did not have a website. Of course, without a website, we didn't have a link, and so there was no advertising. And so, what we saw was a brilliant concept. And now, knowing later, not too much later, that Danielle and you and a number of individuals from Quebec and Montreal, I guess, had been working on this project actually from 7 to 10 years to begin with, correct?
I would say around 7 years that we've been thinking and planning and wanting to put something together for the long term. Yes.
And then what? It was 4 years ago that things actually started rolling in that direction, right?
Very true. We had a lot of meetings with different companies because we wanted to see what we can integrate and how we can build things and how we can bring because we did have that experience in this domain in this niche
Right.
market. So we wanted to bring that experience, but we had to look for systems that worked properly. So we did a lot of meetings with different companies. In the background, Danielle and Claude were working on the comp plan. I started at the beginning with them, but then I had to get away a little bit from that because of different things that happened in my life.
Right.
But things you see how things come together in the long run, and that's why we're here, Bob, and that's why you're here too, also.
Well, and I appreciate the invitation to be here and speak because it is a great honor. First of all, I will thank God, and Danielle knows that Jesus is my boss, and so that everybody understands that Danielle is a born again Christian, and I was baptized as a Lutheran as a child, 15 years old, and I have intentions of working on part of myself as we go forward. But the long story short of this is that I got the opportunity to go down and actually meet Gary, who Gary and I have known each other for almost 20 years, and we had never met personally yet.
Hmm.
And the object of this meeting was I was going to go down and meet Gary, and we had some meetings in Florida where he lives in Lake City, and then we drove 300 and Gary will tell you 331 miles, I think, 5.5, 6 hours to go meet with Danielle and Mario, and we got a very good meeting, a very, very good meeting face to face. And that was a very, very not just productive, but it was a very important meeting for all of Des Alpes at that time. And the reason it was important was because we were at a crossroads as a company, and there were some decisions that had to be made. And there's probably, by the way, kudos to whoever put this together, because over 300 individuals from around the world, 60, 70, however many countries we are in, who knows? But the most important thing is that everybody is here showing the support for this company and for this project. And when Gary and I got to sit down and meet, we had lunch with Danielle and Mario, and we met each other for the first time, obviously. We talked more. We didn't talk about Des Alpes. We talked about family. We talked about the things that are really important, right, Denis?
Life, life, what people go through every day, how people left and right are struggling in different ways,
Yes,
health, financial health, how things are going. So I can imagine. I was not present, but I can really imagine. I can feel what kind of conversation happened that day. Believe
it
me.
was an amazing conversation, and there was a breakthrough because we came in, and full transparency, we were all sad. We had angst with ourselves and together because we want this so bad. Danielle wants this so bad. I knew because Danielle, we have cried together. And I don't say that lightly. And I don't say that to embarrass anyone. But when you become emotionally attached to the number of people that we have around the world in leadership that's represented here right now, and I'm going to acknowledge everybody that I can, but it's important to understand that you start growing what Danielle says to me and Gary as a trust relationship, right, Denis?
Absolutely, Bob. And that's what I really appreciate all the conversations we had together. That relationship was, we had some some really wicked Zooms, and we did,
Well, we did.
because and it was important. It was important because, and we got to know each other that way. We got to know
Correct.
who I am and who you are, and who the kind of leadership that's in part of this Alps. I'm really humbled for that. I'm really, really humbled because, like you say, there's over 300 people here tonight, and these people are still patient and resilient to be there again, to still be there and believe in what we're doing, because
Right.
we're going in that direction, Bob. And I know where we're going with this. And thank you, everyone, to be here tonight.
Well, and I want to temper everybody in this regard. I've said this for all of you that have been on any of Gary and I's Zooms with the Alps and our training that we've been doing every week for Thursday nights for every week, week in, week out, month in, month out. And we tell you this very, very, very seriously, that to be involved in a startup of any business is a great undertaking. Gary and I both have 40 years each as well. We've been in online marketing, 20, 30 years of that, and offline marketing. And then both of us come from brick and mortar industries that we were either managing hundreds and hundreds of people or actually running organizations, running companies for owners. And so, and I don't say that to brag. I'd say that to tell you that there's only a few individuals that I've come across. Denis is one of them. Danielle, will admittedly tell you that he's been learning. And by the way, Danielle's English is kids every day that he gets better, does it not?
Absolutely. He's
It
forced.
does.
He's being forced to learn.
It does. By
Yeah,
default,
for
he's been
sure.
forced.
You guys are
But
gonna learn French.
right. I got to learn French. I got to
Yeah.
learn most. I got. Well, we have our team, our Indian leaders from India,
Yeah.
from Asia, from China, from Australia, from New Zealand. I can go on and on and on.
They're all over the place.
And these are all great leaders because 9 months ago, when Gary and I first started this, we had to do one most important thing. We did not understand the scope of the build that we were going to encounter over the next 8 months, but we knew that we had something special in this project that has never been seen before, never been done before, and still to this day, until we get this off the ground correctly and
Correctly.
and appropriately, it still has not been seen or done. So that being said, in order to get to the point where you go from 100 paid members in week one, 8 months later to 130,000 and at the end of 8 months. And that's only because Danielle did the right thing, Denis did the right thing, the administrators did the right thing, and they shut this down because it was broke by the programmation. As Danielle would say, the programmation. I love that. But seriously, the
That's a lot.
program was wrong. Everybody that knows me knows that we were getting ready to get paid. I only bring this up because it's important that everybody understands what's happened here, and we don't have to revisit every single thing, but there's important parts because we were getting ready to be paid, right,
Yes.
Denny?
Yeah,
We were
absolutely.
there. We were there, and then
But we
Gary and
thought
I,
we were there,
same,
Bob.
you got to remember, Denis, at the same time you and Danielle were looking, Gary and I were looking, and we were on the phone with each other, and we said, whoa, we have to stop. Did we
Yep.
not?
Yep.
We,
Absolutely.
we, we had to stop because it
Numbers
was
didn't make
wrong.
sense. It
It
didn't make
was
sense.
wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right, because I couldn't make sense of it, and I knew that Gary couldn't make sense of it, and if we could make sense of it, I didn't know anybody else that could. So we stopped, and when Danielle stopped, he did the most important thing that a CEO could ever do. He quit taking any more money. Correct?
Absolutely.
Did he?
Absolutely.
Okay. And then because of the servers, look, we got 4 servers and maybe more than that. But even if you got a server farm, if you're letting people come in free at the rate, we had 2,000 people per day
Mm-hmm.
before Danielle decided, okay, we need to shut that side of it down too, to protect the integrity of the servers, and then stop, because that's madness at that point, is it not? To keep allowing people to come in and knowing that we had a major problem that had to be resolved. Correct?
Exactly. It didn't make any more common sense.
No,
And
no.
that had to be absolutely fixed. You know, like we said, we didn't have that experience. Now we do. We have a lot more experience. We don't have full experience. But what it created also is that, we're many extra administrators, and it really got us to work really, really hard together and harder together to get this thing on the floor correctly. And that's amazing. So to me, it's also a gift. I see it as a gift that we got to grow together, to bring it to the point that we are here. I know still people maybe not believe anymore that we're still going to make this happen. But believe me, we are going to make this
Well,
happen. That's the plan. And I know where we're going with this, Bob. And again, we're not
well,
there to scam people. We're there to make this community work,
well.
and we're
I
there
will
to
tell.
make
I
sure
will
that.
tell. I will tell everybody right here. Denis and I and Danielle have had many conversations over the months. Have we not?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
many,
And
many.
Danielle has never ever feigned away from picking the phone up and calling me, or allowing me and Gary to pick up the phone and call Denis and Danielle. Never. They have never stopped us from that. They've never blocked us from that. They have never ever. And they've always been the most important thing that I want everybody to understand here is transparency. Okay? There's a lot of understanding that nobody's going to have unless you've been in the shoes of the other side of this. Okay. I've been involved in startups that never made it. Gary's been involved in startups that never made it. Gary and I have been involved in startups that were successful but shut down because of issues. These things happen. Everybody that's a leader around the world right now understands this thing, Denis, that things happen, and the result is, what do we do when the chips are down and they're beating us up and they're calling us scammers and they're calling us thieves and they're
Yep.
calling us this and that? Because this is not something that is unusual. It is
No.
actually a big deal for people out there to do such things. And what such things are is to confuse and what, to make sure that they want you to believe that we're not going to happen. They want you to believe that we are taking your money and not giving you anything in return. They want you to believe that all this was a predestination thing. Now, folks, I'm going to tell you from a very, 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 very perspective that I have been around for 40 years. I have seen the results of what somebody does when they scam you, and this is not that. I have seen and been scammed before, including Gary, including others on this call, and we know what that looks like. This is not that,
No.
okay? Because let's be honest, Danielle and Denis never had to show anybody the money that they have not touched a penny of. I have seen it. I've seen it. I know where it is. Gary has seen it. We know where it is. That was part of our business meeting in Florida, that 3 hours that we spent. We were shown. Okay. And the reason we were shown was because they knew it was the right thing to do, that we could come back and tell you all that we do understand what's going on. Gary and I understand. Craig Linfield's out there. He understands. Joe Anthony's out there. He understands. Jasmine. I could go on and on. David Gwynn, Jeff McBee, all of our leaders that are stationed around the world in the United States understand certain things that most people don't even get a chance to be involved with. And so I say this also. In a startup, you never get the opportunity to be where everybody is right now. Not this number, Denis. Never, never. You never have the 140,000, 150,000 people that have been allowed to come in. And that was by the grace of God, number
Yes.
one, and by the fact that Danielle and you, Denis, and the administrators decided that, hey, once the momentum got going, there was no stopping it. Okay, so
It was like
it
impossible to
was,
stop.
and the momentum, yes, is stopped. That is not a secret. That is not. Nobody's
No,
trying to
no.
hide that. Correct. The
Yeah. Well,
momentum is stopped. It's just a fact.
yeah. Well, in a way, we had to, because things were not working.
Exactly.
We had to.
Exactly.
It
So
was not because it was important that we stopped that, because everything was shambled. So it all has to be correct, and it is getting corrected. And thank you for Jenny and the whole team. Also, Ramon, that you met last week, who's
yep,
part of our director
yep.
IT. Amazing man. Believe me, he's an amazing man. We're very happy. We're very privileged and grace that he is there with us, and Jenny and this whole team, and you guys, everybody. This is what's going to make it work, Bob. This is what's going to make it work.
Well, one of the tells when you're involved in at this level of play, as I call it, this is not a game. This is not the thing that you're going to do just for the weekend. This is
No, no,
a
no.
side hustle. I'm telling you, this is a real, legitimate business model. And it's a
Legacy.
legitimate business model because it affects two major industries: online shopping and the network marketing industry being turned upside down at the same time. We've had these conversations week after week, month after month for many, many months now. And that does not change.
No.
That does not change. I don't care if you're in India, you're in Japan, you're in New Zealand, you're in the United States. It doesn't matter where you are. That fact does not change, because this is not a fad. This is not just a trend. This is a phenomenon. And the phenomenon is the fact that when you get the opportunity to make a difference in the industries that you can make a difference in, you then create a scenario, a situation that is not just beneficial to the average person, it's beneficial to everybody. Is that not correct, Denis?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
Exactly.
you know that the vision behind this project, it's not small. There's a huge vision behind this.
Yes.
And once we start getting that momentum again, and we start really seeing how the projection and how things are going to really start to mingle together and strongly, and people are going to start putting, shoes on their children's again and stuff, together. And we got so many future projects that we want to put together here. So
Right.
it's not a small, like you said, Bob, it's not a small thing.
Well,
It's
we
going to
take
be
it, we
huge.
have to take it one step at a time again,
One step
correct?
at a time. One step at a
Right.
time.
And so that one step at a time is what I love, what I've been seeing so far. Craig will attest to this. Gary can attest to this. I know Joe Anthony's out there and will attest to this. That we used to see one step forward and two steps back. That is not a secret. That
No,
is not a secret.
like
But
like dancing the tango.
yeah, of course. But here it is. Now, for the last several weeks, we keep seeing, and especially after Gary and I got a chance to meet Ramon and talk with them and get a good understanding. So we actually sat down with Ramon, and Ramon walked us through everything that had happened already, just like Danielle has been confirming a couple of times a week now. Matter of fact, yesterday, Danielle and I had a very, very good conversation for almost an hour. Okay. I wore Danielle out. He had to go outside and get some energy. He did.
I
And it's
imagine.
only
I can
because
imagine.
you can imagine because
I
look,
can imagine.
it's only because Danielle has got the heart.
Yes.
The heart is what makes a person everything that they are in their word. And yes, we have people that will say, well, you broke your promise one time, two times, three times, four times. You have to understand that if we started this over and there was hindsight is 2020, which is an American term, we'd have never allowed any more than probably two or three levels of people to start, Denis. We
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't. We'd still be sitting at that same two or three levels of people.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yes.
if you go back in retrospect and think about that, well, that would have been great, except for one most important fact that we proved to the world that we could build something very special without any advertising, without a website, without a link. Everything we did was private invitation with the videos that you all helped us build and get people to take a look at why you want to do this and then how we're going to do it. And it was very, very simply put, and it continues to still be that day. That does not change. Okay. So the only thing that changes is the fact that we continue to move forward step by step, day by day. And here it is, the 7th of May, right, Denis?
7th of May.
And I think that the D Day or Go Day is still the 18th. Is that
That's
correct?
the target. That is the target. That is still the target.
That is
Absolutely.
the target. And Jenny, I appreciate you, Jenny. I have not been able to meet you yet. Gary and I would love to be able to meet with you guys too, because Gary is a programmer and a builder of products, and he has his own programmers and he has his own IT people. So Gary, of all people too, in the brick and mortar businesses, understands what's going on here as well. And so he has angst. I have angst. Denis has angst. Danielle has angst. We all have angst, and the only angst is only related to that we as a team have made promises to each other, promises to God, and promises to each and every one of you here. And I will tell you right now that Craig Linfield and Joe Anthony and all my other leaders, including Jasmine with Joe and Muhammad Ghalib with Craig, and all the leaders that we have right now, many leaders in 62 countries, had the opportunity. I want this to be very, very clear. We all got together with the leaders, senior leadership first, and the opportunity was, do we want to be refunded? And that opportunity said no. We said no, no refunds, no refunds. Now, yes, in fact, Danielle has made some refunds because he said that he would, and he has accomplished that, and that does not change. Okay, so full transparency, full honesty. Nobody's stopping anybody from doing anything, but more importantly, Danielle, with the heart of gold that he has, only wants one thing, right, Denis? The opportunity to do what? To move forward, get everybody paid 100%, not partial pay, 100%. And for those that paid in crypto, they get their crypto. And for those that paid with a credit card, debit card, they get their US dollars in their back office with whatever direct deposit solution there is. Is that correct, Denis?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Well, all I can tell you is, and I'll turn this back over to you, is
Thank you.
God is great. God delivered Gary to me because he was retired. I was retired from corporate America and I had no purpose. I'll be honest with you. I will not tell my personal story because it's not relevant right now, but a lot of people know my personal story. And I was not in a good mind. And then God came to me and said, "Bob, somebody's going to come to you," and he does these things, and somebody's going to bring something. And I said, "Oh, whatever."
Whatever.
I said, I said, I retired. I'm done. I'm done with corporate America. I'm done with building anything. And then lo and behold, I get this phone call. There's Gary. There's the Donnie video. And then everything that's happened since, I'm telling you that his intervention doesn't matter to me what anybody thinks or says. That's what it matters to me. You ask my wife, you ask my daughter, you ask my son, they will all tell you the same things. No refund. We are in this to win it, and we're in this to help each and every one of you. And we promised, and I promise, and my word is this to each and every one of you on this call, that Danielle and Denis and Mario and the admins and Johnny and Ramon are only focused on one thing, and that is to get us open on May the 18th and get us paid completely and allow us to get the people that have not paid the 120 yet back in the system, and then turn this on and slowly again to make sure that we don't crash the servers, right? That we will re-engage and we will gain that momentum back. And I will tell you this, Denis, I predicted this before, and we were ahead of schedule, that we will see 100,000 paid, we will see 500,000 paid, and within 12 months, at least 1 million paid. What do you say to that, Denis?
I say, yes, sir.
Okay, so once again, I want to thank God. I thank Danielle. I thank Denis. I thank you, Johnny. I thank you, Mario. I thank all the admins. I thank my guy, Gary Afron, for being the man that he is and bringing this to me. We thank Mark Chin. We thank Daphne. We thank Jim Ogles. We thank all of those folks up the line, including Donnie. And then again, all of Gary and I's leaders, no matter where you are in the world. Without each and every one of you strategically placed and willing to do what you've been doing for 8 months, none of us would be here. None of us would have what we have. We would not be anything. God loves each and every one of you. I appreciate each and every one of you's time. It's so precious. I give this back to you, Denis. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob, so much. I really appreciate that. I appreciate that your support and your leadership that you have within this community. It's really super appreciated. I believe that we have also our CEO here, Danielle. Danielle, I know, well, he's been practicing his English, so let's give him that opportunity to say a few words here for us tonight. Danielle, I give you the floor, my good friend. I hope you're there. I hope you're listening. I think you're there. Yeah, you are there. So if you can come here and say a few words for the community. I know it was not expected for you to do that. So I'm putting you on the floor, Danielle. Maybe he fell asleep. I hope not.
It looks like he's still muted, Denis.
Yeah, I think he's still muted. Yeah, you're right. So maybe Mario can take care on that side. I know he's a co-host, so I believe he can be part of that. Or else what I'll do, if he cannot speak right now. Hello, Daniel? Daniel, est-ce que tu es à l'écoute?
Yeah, je suis là.
OK, on va te laisser le plancher pour dire quelques mots en anglais.
Oh, j'étais pas préparé à ça, merci.
Je le sais. I know that.
C'est pas très gentil, mais c'est comme ça. Hi, everyone. I'm honored to speak with you. It's 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 improvised situation for me. I'm just right with the programmation guys, with Johnny, with Ramon, and the web signature team at Johnny. It's a very professional person, and every time it's a new day for me because when you pass by a lot cloud and sunshine is there, and my mind it's really nice to work with with the great leader. Uh, I love the art of Bob, the
The hat.
because when he comes see me on Florida, I give the art of at Bob, and I think he have a really great day come for the community. And when I paid all of every people of the community of Des Alpes, I'm honored for that. Yeah. Thank you, Dennis, for this. You pass me the mic, and have a great evening for every person.
Well, Danielle, I did it because you raised your hand. And when you raise your hand, it's because you want to speak. So I gave you that opportunity, my friend. Love you. Love you, brother. Love you, brother.
Thank
Now,
you. Love you too.
so guys, my turn to finish and to close this. Again, thank you all. Thank you for your resilience. Thank you to be there. I'm very humble and honored to be part of this community and to be part of that beginning and to be part of what we're going to make something. I think we're going to make something really, really, really special. And it's really, it's under God's grace. And my God, thank everybody to be there. And I'm so touched, really, really touched. And my God, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And to believe. I know not everybody believes. That's okay. I understand. But we're gonna prove you wrong. We are going to prove those people wrong because we're gonna make this happen. So, people, thank you so much to be there tonight, and God bless. God bless everybody.
Okay, I open the mic so everybody can now say goodbye and thank you, and everybody
Right.
will work.
Let's go.
Thank you.
What's
Bye.
up?
Yes.
Yo.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's
God
go,
bless.
baby. Let's go.
California.
Let's
Go.
let's
Let's
do
go.
Thank
this.
I love this
everything.
Alpes.
Thank you for
I
being
love this
here.
Alpes. I am
From
Indian.
Thank
Family.
you, everyone.
Everybody.
Danny, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Goodbye,
you.
everybody.
Goodbye, Danielle.
Good night.